In this scene in Romeo and Juliet, Romeo has been banished to Mantua because he has murdered one of Juliet's cousins. Juliet's parents then plan for her to be married to another man. In an attempt to get out of this, Juliet drank a mixture that made her appear dead. The friar who gave this to her, and who was also friends with Romeo, sent a letter to him to tell him that Juliet isn't actually dead. At the time that this message is delivered, Romeo is not home, so he never receives it. Balthazar has come to Mantua to tell Romeo about Juliet's passing. First, we get an extreme long shot of Mantua. This is used in order to show us the barren landscape to show how Mantua is a sad place. The colors are muted in a sepia-type fashion to reiterate the sadness of the surroundings. The camera moves into a close-up of Romeo as he writes in his journal. This angle allows us to see how Romeo is deep in thought about his love for Juliet. The camera then moves to show the journal with his necklace in the background. Although it is blurred, we are still able to see that it bears the cross and the ring that Juliet gave to him. This foreshadows the events that will take place with Juliet. As Balthazar's car speeds into Mantua, we are able to see the pink and brown colored sky in the background that shows us the upcoming sadness that isn't quite there yet. The camera shows Romeo's face as he realizes who is now approaching. In one of the most important parts of the scene, the camera gets close to the note from the post office saying that a message could not be delivered. Romeo completely blows by it. This visual is needed to create the dramatic irony and show how a fatal mistake has just taken place. A medium shot is used here to show Balthazar's face and his reluctancy, but also the dirt that is still whirling in the background from his quick entrance. With a switching over-the-shoulder shot, we are able to see how excited Romeo is to hear news about Juliet, but also see how Balthazar's facial expression isn't nearly as excited as his. Close-ups are used for both Romeo and Balthazar as he tells Romeo that his Juliet is now dead. Romeo's changing emotions are able to be seen because the camera is close enough that we can see the sadness that overcomes him. We then get to see both of their faces in the shot, and we are able to compare the emotions that they are feeling.
Is it even so?
Anger and sadness overwhelm Romeo, and a long shot is used to show that his emotions are not only being expressed through his face, but now also through his actions. The camera stays on Romeo as he walks over and begins to fall to his knees and cry. The focus is staying on him because he is the most important person with the most important emotions.
I defy you, stars!
An extreme long shot is used again to show the barren landscape where Romeo has positioned himself to feel his emotions. A medium shot shows Romeo's back as he screams. We can see the setting sun that tells us that night is fast approaching, just like the climax of intensity in the movie. The angle switches between this and one of his face so we can fully see his emotions, both in his face and through his actions. Another extreme long shot is used to show him and Balthazar in the lifeless landscape as they both try to cope with what just happened. For the remainder of the scene, both close-ups and medium shots are used. The close-ups are again used to show both of their emotions, while the medium shots show both of their actions and how they are interacting with one another. This scene adds to the overall film by paying close attention to the emotions that are being felt by Romeo, and even Balthazar, who is a minor character.
No matter. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight.
An important part of this film as a whole is the dramatic irony where we know that Juliet isn't dead, but Romeo does not. This dramatic irony is brought to our attention through the use of the camera angle capturing Romeo as he steps over the letter, and he is completely oblivious to the fact that one came for him from the friar, telling him that Juliet is not dead. If Romeo had only known that Juliet was not dead, both of their deaths could have been prevented. But the world had different plans for these two star-crossed lovers.